I was 23 at the time.
Okay.
Um, Scared, very scared. Didn't feel I could go to anybody with it because I was embarrassed and shamed. Um, uh, my brothers had both had babies conceived out of wedlock, and that brought a lot of shame to my family. I didn't want to bring more to it because I was the good child. So I had the abortion. Um, was told I could lead my life as a normal after that, but I think that first night coming home, I cried all night, and really didn't share with many people till later on. I think I told my sister about 7 months afterwards because she was pregnant at the time, so I told her 7 months afterwards, and um, really felt the pain the first time um, her son was born a month after my abortion, and I just felt a pain while holding him, and it's like, kind of what did I do? And not really knowing what to do with all of that, so I buried it for many, many years. So, a lot of failed relationships after that. I think that contributed to the loss of motherhood because nothing would, I never could have a relationship to have a mother. And then 15 years later, I was seeing another man and I became pregnant. I told everybody right away. However, I was 38 at the time and that ended in a miscarriage the Friday before Mother's Day, and that really devastated me. It brought on a lot of depression and um, thinking I was being punished, and I was 38, and it was like I knew at that time that there was no hope of me having children of my own, and I always grew up thinking I was meant to be a mother, and that didn't happen for me. At that point, the depression was there. I thought it was part of postpartum depression because that's what they said, but it lasted 6 years, and I just every year around my birthday, the end of the December, I'd go into deeper depression every year, and that lasted for 6 years. And that last year, I just says I can't handle this anymore. I need some help. I just cried out. Not to anybody in general, and I just thought I have to get some counseling or antidepressants because I I would have been dead if I hadn't gotten help. And my help came through the source of Jesus. It took away motherhood. It took away relationships with babies that were born after my abortion. I, in a way, I resented them. Uh, and then family and friends started having grandchildren. I was envious of the grandchildren coming in because I wasn't going to have grandchildren. So it took away me being a grandmother. Um, and it robbed me of some relationships. I have to say that. I have to put that in there. Uh, so there was a lot of loss there. So women do not need abortion. One, they are lied to when they get it. They're not told the truth. Um, they're not shown the ultrasound. When I had my gallbladder out, I was shown the ultrasound. They're not told of physical or emotional and spiritual things that would happen to you. There is a tremendous loss. I feel like the abortion maybe led to my infertility of not having children later. Um, it is not a woman's rights because it destroys what we were given naturally to have, is to have children as a gift. Women in Minnesota need more resources and support, so abortion is unthinkable for them here in Minnesota. So when women go to abortion clinic, they do not get all the facts. And I think that's important. Anytime you go for any other medical surgery or anything like that, you are given all the facts. You're given the pros and the cons, and they're not given any of that. They're just told, in my case, it was told it was a tissue. You'll be able to have children later on, and that is a complete lie.
And
They deserve better. After the abortion, I was able to get pregnant again, but I never carried a baby full term after that. I believe there was some medical damage to my cervix. I don't have proof of it. I just have comments doctors would make that my cervix looked funny or was irregular, and never at that time thought it was because of the abortion until I researched it later on after many, many years. Abortion took away motherhood from me. It took away not having my own grandchildren here. It took away a relationship with some of my family members for a while because I hid from them. I had a very pro-life parents, and they would bring home literature, and I would just run out of the house, literally run out of the house, because I at that time couldn't deal with that. Deal with that information about what happens to babies when they're aborted. Yes, I think about what happened, especially as you hear more of the science about it. I think of my baby and what I actually did to her, that I harmed her, that I caused her pain, that I didn't give her her choice to live in this world and do what she wanted to do in this world. And that'll always be in my heart for until I'm, in the arms of Jesus. That'll always be in my heart of that I did that to her. Oh. Yeah, my abortion has caused nightmares. I remember through my healing, I read a lot of books, and I would hear stories of that they would leave babies in jars in the freezer and the refrigerator, and after I read that, I started having nightmares that I'd go downstairs and find my baby in a jar in the refrigerator, and it's only through the power of prayer that I was able to move forward and have those stop in my life. So, abortion took away grandchildren in my life. I think it took away relationships, that were in my life, just because I wasn't the person I was meant to be during that time before I knew about, a healing group. So now, and when you're a woman, you never get that back. You never get that back where you can go back and still have children. It just, that just never happens. So in heaven, I'll have my children.